The UFC returns to British Columbia August 27th. UFC on Fox goes down. Canada's own Chad Laprise will be in action, taking on Thibaut Goudy. We are joined on the line by the striker extraordinaire, Chad Laprise. Chad, what is going on? How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling awesome, guys. Awesome to talk to you.
Now, one of the things we just, Robin and I we have to do our research. So we just saw that you posted a little video online about speed kills. Clearly that's something that will complement your style. Why is speed important?
You know, speed is everything. I don't care if you're the hardest hitter in the world. If you can't hit the target, nothing's going to matter, right? So speed makes a huge difference in the fights, and I feel like I'm faster than almost everybody that I'm going to compete against in the 5-pound division.
Is it a difficult thing to increase your speed? What are some of the things that you're working on to make sure that you are the faster man in the octagon come August 27th?
Yeah, you know, most of it is definitely God-given, but we do have really crisp technique. It helps. You know, I have no wasted energy in the movement, and the fastest place, you know, is in a straight line. So if you have sloppy technique, it's definitely not going to be as fast.
Chad, you've been, you know, a really technical guy, really smooth technique as long as we've seen you. Can you feel that you are even smoother and the grooves are greased even better in the last year or two? Like, is this an ongoing thing, and can you recognize the improvement in your own technique?
Yes, for sure, you know, and that's why I end up videotaping myself a lot, and then I'll end up watching it, and you see me sparring and doing pad work and stuff from even 6 months ago. I've gotten so much better, you know, so it's a constant evolution of going to the gym every single day and trying to get better every single practice, you know. It's not just week by week, it's day by day, practice by practice.
Is it important for you to be a part of that process? You said that you look at tape. We know that other fighters and coaches, they just completely rely on their trainers to make adjustments and tweaks. Why is it important for you to be a part of your growth process? I mean, it makes sense to us, but why do you feel that that's necessary?
Yeah, you know, it definitely helps. It helps me learn a lot. You know, when my coaches are telling me one thing, you know, I'm getting from them, but then when I can actually see myself doing it, or I can watch somebody else doing it, you know, I just find it helps me learn a lot better that way.
When you were just mentioning, you know, going and getting better every single session, and to really do that, you have to, you know, never just kind of phone it in. Some people will show up and do the work when they're tired, and it's better than not doing the work. But do you do anything to improve your focus, your ability to be present in the moment when you train and when you're trying to acquire knowledge?
Yes, you know, so every single session, there's always a purpose. You know, I'm trying to get better at this thing or that thing. So once I go into training, I completely shut my whole brain off from the outside world, and nothing else matters other than that hour and a half that I'm going to get to the gym for. You know, it's all about getting better day by day. Is
that easy for you to be able to just completely focus on the task at hand when you look at, you know, you're a family man, you're a professional athlete, you're not in a strange environment, but you're not living in a place that you grew up? How is it a difficult thing to just focus on developing as a martial artist?
No, you know, when I'm training, this is my job. You know, it'd be the same as you guys go to your job. Mm-hmm. So when I'm at the gym, it's training, and then when I'm home, you know, it's proper rest, and then I'm also training at home. You know, I'm watching videos, I'm reading up on different things. So, you know, my goal is to be the best in the sport, and there's no way that I'm gonna get to that if I ever just kind of train here and there and have no purpose.
That's a lot easier to do when you're doing the thing that you absolutely love doing, are obsessed with, and it's your passion, not just your job, right?
Exactly. You know, this is the one thing in the world that I absolutely love doing. You know, that was one thing. I think two fights ago when I fought Ronaldo, you know, I was almost treating it as a job. You know, and now I'm sitting here thinking, UFC Vancouver, I get to fight in a UFC Vancouver. You know what I mean? It's not something that I have to do. Training's not something that I have to do. I love to do this, you know, and it was good to kind of sit back and remind myself of that.
We want to get your philosophy, because not everybody shares the same philosophy when it comes to mixed martial arts. There's a theory out there that you should spend time on skill development, and we think of technical abilities and skill, especially in the stand-up department. You're in the top percentile. There's other trainers and athletes out there that believe that the time that you're spending developing skill, you should be spending on strength and conditioning and getting yourself prepared for a 15-minute or 25-minute battle. Where do you lie when it comes to strength and conditioning and skill development?
Yeah, so skills is 100% always king. So when I'm not in camp, I'm working on some strength and conditioning for power, for explosion, but I'm really honing on my skills. And then once I'm in camp, everything is going to be peaking for that night. So the closer I get to the fight, obviously I'm not working anything new. For about 5 weeks before the fight, I learned 0 new skills. And then everything is just focused on peaking and getting in great shape. And strength and conditioning is definitely important, and also running, which guys don't do a lot, which is super important for me. But you can have the best skills in the world, and if you're not in shape, things could definitely go sour. So it definitely goes hand in hand. For me, skills are more important than strength and conditioning. But you can't neglect that part as well.
When you look right now, Stipe Miocic is the heavyweight champion. He's a great athlete. John Jones or Daniel Cormier, great athletes. Bisping is a good endurance athlete. At 170, Tyron Woodley is a brilliant athlete. Eddie Alvarez focuses a ton on athletics. It's clearly
Demetrius Johnson, Dominic Cruz,
all of them,
all athletes,
all great athletes. So athleticism, a minimum level of athleticism's just got to be there, right? It has to be. You can't. There's nobody winning without it.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's even some guys like Mandel Nalo is a guy like he's definitely skilled, but the guy's just a freak athlete. You know what I mean? When you train with guys like that, even if their skills aren't quite as high as yours, but if they're a freak athlete, they're a hard time to deal with. You know what I mean? So there's definitely no denying that.
Is that frustrating, or does that force you, when you're thinking about your career, about how to become the best athlete you can possibly be?
Yeah, obviously, there's times when I wish I was gifted as some guys like that. But I was born with, I would say, out of the higher end athletes, I'm medium. I'm good kind of everywhere. I'm not great anywhere as far as athleticism, but I work really hard, and then I can make up for that with skills.
Chad, isn't it cool? All day long, you're studying fighting. Right now, you're talking with your friends about fighting. On the 27th, you get to go fight. This is what you were after, right?
Exactly. It's so amazing. And you know what? I ended up taking that for granted a few fights ago. I ended up getting too obsessed with it and never taking any breaks. I never went home to London to see my family and enjoy anything else in life. And then now that I have those things right, fighting it's even sweeter for me. I absolutely love it, and I absolutely, like I said, I get the opportunity to fight on the 27th. There's millions of people who would love to have my spot, and I'm the one who gets to go out there and do the one thing in the world that I absolutely love to do.
I know it sounds kind of corny because we've heard it so many times, but we've heard people say, athletes and trainers, that you learn more from losses than you do victories. What can you tell us that you've learned from your losses?
That is 100% true. Before that, I never lost before, so I had no idea what that feeling's like. But I've learned a lot from those 2 losses, and both were completely different. When I fought Trinaldo, that was the first time in my life that I never really wanted to be there. I was so burnt out from training, from other things, and then fight night I just kind of went out there and did it. You know what I mean? And obviously you saw the outcome. Mm-hmm. Then my last fight with Pearson, I was too far the other way. I was so happy to be fighting again. I just didn't quite turn that level up. You know what I mean? I was almost in like a glorified sparring match. If you saw in the third round of that fight, I really started picking it up. Mm-hmm. And so now I kind of have to have that happy medium. I'm happy to be there and I want to be there, but I have to turn that level up to 10 and go in and throw bad intentions on every shot. I'm actually so happy that I end up taking those 2 losses into my career, and I'm 100% a better fighter for it.
Chad Rammer and I are passion guys. We love what we do too, and it's awesome to see you just right in the zone, loving what you're doing, man. It's really, really cool to see.
I appreciate it, and that's definitely why I love watching you guys. You're the hardest working guys in the media, and really dig down and they get the true stories. Not the same questions. over and over. So when I ever get my chance to talk to Fight Network, I'm definitely happy.
Chad Laprise takes on Thibaut Goudy on August 27th at the Rogers Arena. We will get to a chance to watch you be free inside of the cage, Chad. Best of luck.
Sure.
We will be watching you, and
Go
we
get 'em.
promise we'll be rooting for you, brother.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.